Hey everybody, it's me, Ghost 3 Bravo. Tonight we're going to be doing some mining and refining. It's Sunday night, which means it's relaxing time. Just kind of chill, do some mining, and have a general good time. It's always good when you're able to play a relaxing game loop. Last night we did bunker runs and various other things. Cargo run, bunker runs, and I tried to do one weird mission. End up getting blown up, but we are currently at 1,518,000 credits, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that result. And let's see here. Oh, my bad. There we go. Let me turn this off right here. There we go. So everything's going pretty good tonight. Hopefully everybody had a good day. I had a good day. Can't complain any. Got up early, went to church. When we got out of church, went over to the store. I had to get some stuff, and my wife wanted me to repair a shelf, so I took and chopped the top off of it with a skill saw, and then used a Japanese pull saw to flush cut it, because those are awesome for flush cutting. So if you need a flush cut, get you a Japanese pull saw, because they are the bee's knees when it comes to doing that. All right, since we're not doing anything crazy, I'm going to store everything in inventory. Let me go other. Okay, there we go. Now let's put on a different helmet, and we need armor top. Just something simple to put our, let's go with this ADP core. Something simple so we can wear a cheap backpack, take it out with us for mining. Let's try that again. There we go. All right, let's make sure we take our saber with us. All right, so we already have some cruise drinks, so that's good. Let's roll this over here out of the way, because we don't need that. That's weird. Oh, here we go. I forgot. Can I do it on one on both legs? No. So we're only going to take the mining tool with the tractor beam. There we go. Let's make sure it's got a tractor beam on it by dragging one over there. It did. And then we'll take 2 shots. That'll get us where we need to go. Let's go ahead and drop that in our backpack. Let's carry one of these. Go ahead and drink, get our sustenance levels up. So this beauty is the MSI-Z Prospector. I don't have any cool paint schemes or anything like that for it. I'm not even sure if there is one. But I kind of like the stainless steel look that it's got going on. All right, so we drank that down, and we're still out of sustenance. We still need that liquids. There we go. So we got a little bit of server delay going on. Not too bad. We'll find out exactly how bad it is when we start mining. If it's too bad, we'll end the stream early, because that's a real pain in the butt. I wish he would just go ahead and throw it down. Anything that's in the hangar usually despawns pretty quickly, it seems. Except for maybe blown up ships. So, tonight we'll be mining in Hurl L1. That's where I usually mine at, since I'm stationed at Hurl L1. We'll get our mining on. And, I've got the saber module, so we're good. We'll be able to mine stuff that's got a high resistance. Because that's really what's been getting in our way lately with the Hofstede laser and the Rieger 2 module. Even though they're more powerful, we still having an issue with being able to mine some of the bigger rocks, but just because of resistance. So the other day before yesterday, I think, or maybe been 2 days ago, 3. Anyways, someday this week we went mining, and oh look, there's some debris out here. So want to be extra careful when I'm flying out, because it's the invisible debris that'll kill you. Anyways, so we ended up, we were able to crack a 14,000K rock using the Saber module, so that worked out really good. So yeah, we're just mining, you know. I'm minding my business. Yeah, that's corny. That's a dad joke, minding my business while I'm mining. I'm gonna mute the mic just a second. All right, I'm back. Back in action. Had to do some little off-screen talking there to the wife. She was letting me know I have a strict 10 o'clock limit. And she means business tonight. Because I have to get up and go to work early in the morning. So I appreciate her being, doing that. So the Rieger C3 module gives us a plus 15% of laser power. So our fracture power is 115 plus 15%. So we can get some bigger rocks that way. All right, there's our first one popped in. I was wondering, I was like, why is everything taking forever to pop in? So the keybind for your air brakes is basically X. So if you hit X, it's going to stop you. Gives you 100% negative thrust. There we go. Scan again when that thing pops down. That way we'll be able to see. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, I like to mine on Sundays. That's all I pretty much do on Sundays is mine. Sometimes I do vulture runs, so salvage. All right, let's slow down. Speed back up. We slowed down too much just now. We got P-type asteroid. Let's see how big this thing is. It's purple, so we should be able to just suck it in if we wanted to. Oh, gosh. Golly, I can't believe I did that. That's what happens when you hit that stupid C button instead of their main button. There we go. I don't know. I lost control with my mouse for a second. All right. So yeah, we screwed up just then. Luckily, there's no damage to the ship, and if there is, it's just minor damage. Mouse keeps drifting because my cord's caught speaker that I don't use. So yeah, hopefully everybody's having a good night. So far, today's been a good day, and it's been a good night. Had some grilled cheeses for dinner, you know. Why would anybody want a grilled cheese for dinner? I don't know. Sometimes you want something simple and light. And as hot as it was today, grilled cheese came off real nice. Because, man, it was hot. I was going to cut grass. I went outside at like 2 o'clock. I was like, nope, this ain't happening. Impossible. 17,000. Yeah, that is impossible. All right, let's move on to the next one. And there it is, 3,000 meters. 3 clicks out. So we got that bad boy. Hopefully it'll be something we can mine because the last one was not. So when does it start calculating what rock it is at what range? Apparently not at all. And then the rock appeared suddenly. In my vision, I don't know what happened there. If it's got gold, we'll take it, regardless of what else is with it. Barrel, 47%. No, thank you. Okay. Let's go to this one. So yeah, if you're new to mining, or you're new to the channel, mining seems boring because you're just flying through space looking for a rock. But that's part of the relaxing part of the gameplay. And mining may not be for everybody, and I know these aren't my most popular videos to do. Bunker running's by far the best videos to do, but mining's part of the process. It's part of my process anyways. Because you need to have them stress-free days every once in a while. But yeah, it was so doggone hot out there today. I hopped on that lawnmower like 2 o'clock. And, you know, 2 acres is a lot to cut. And I got a nice lawnmower and all. But it doesn't matter. It's that hot outside, it's that hot. So I just said I'll cut grass after I get off work tomorrow night. Because I got lights on the front end of it, so. And my neighbors are usually up, so it shouldn't bother them at all. I guess it would be decent of me to check with them. Alright, there we go. This one should be easy. Medium difficulty is what it's saying. We should get no difficulty cracking this. Golly, I gotta turn down my audio. That's deafening on my end. I always cut it down negative 20 decibels on your end so you don't have to hear the loud noises. But you can still hear the game. Because what's the point in watching somebody stream if you can't hear the game? Or some other music. Unless you're listening to music, watching a stream, and then you're playing a game too, which is always kind of cool. But yeah, it's way too hot out there today. Because I did all that sawing and stuff with that Japanese pool saw. And I started off in the shade. But it was plywood that I ended up having to cut through parts of. And plywood is not friendly to your pool saw. But it's a razor saw, so it can handle it. I think if you're a woodworker or you like to work with wood, I think investing in a good Japanese pool saw is a pretty no-brainer investment. They're not that expensive, and they come in handy, especially for flush cuts, you know. I used it to flush cut our door jambs. I've used it at all kinds of places. And I do have an oscillating multi-tool that's it's a DeWalt, that 20 whatever volt system they got. But it's a little overkill, and it kind of damages stuff too. So you can damage your floor with it when you're cutting a door jamb or whatnot. All right, 74, 25. I want at least 80%, and not 80% copper. Golly. This is going to be a terrible bust, isn't it? I think it's going to be a terrible bust, guys. It looks like we're not going to get anything good. Mostly inert material on that one, so I'm most definitely not taking it. One of these have got to be 100% chunk of greasium. 20%. Oh, here's one we hadn't scanned yet. That's good. $74.25. All right, we'll take both of these, even though we're getting a bit of copper. Hopefully, we'll end up with less than a couple of SCU. Agricium's not the most expensive thing. Copper is one of the cheapest things. So, hopefully we'll be able to balance that out on the next rock that we go and check out. So yeah, our yield was decent. I wish that one wasn't too big. That's a lot of barrel. Alright, let's go. Next man. Next rock. 10 clicks out. So this mining's simple, right? You get out there, you look for rocks that you can find that are your size, depending on what laser head you're using, what modules you have attached. So if we headed to Hurl L2 and we got us a Helix, good Lord, my dryer is shaking like crazy. Anyways, it stopped, so we're good. But you can go out and get a Helix mining head. You can mine rocks that are a lot bigger. But if you get a secondary split, then sometimes that can cause you some problems, because you'll end up with some smaller rocks that take a lot less power to crack. And so you'd have to spam that. You'd have to spam toggle your laser head, your mining head. That was 25,000, so it's too big. Nope. We want to keep going in the same general direction. But we may just hop over to Hurl L2 and get us a Helix. See that white dot that just popped up? That's a interdiction. Whether it was a player character or an NPC that did it. It kind of gives you a warning, you know. Do you really want to boost into this zone? Alright, let's see what we have. Oh man, came off of it a little too quick. 9,000. We should be able to bust this no problem. It's barrel and iron, so hopefully we can get us a good split. I don't have a cluster module on here, so we'll just have to hope for the best. And I've been having bad luck with the cluster module not wanting to work properly anyway, so... says it's challenging, and they are right about that. Why is that? Is it the resistance? Well, it's a combination of resistance and instability. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop out. We're gonna throw the saber on it. So now it's time for EVA. Make sure I put my helmet back on. There we go. Always double check. Make sure you have a helmet on before you go EVA, because then you'll die instantly. Let it do its weirdo thing that it does. There we go. Alright, so you're going to hold F and zoom in using your mouse scroll if you're playing with a mouse. And we're going to change our propagation. We're trying to get our waveform to 90 something percent. 90 or above. There's 90. So now we can play with our field range. Nope. Let's play with axial scatter. So sometimes it's off a little bit like it is right now. So 92% is the best we're going to be able to get. Let's see, yeah, it was off about 2 inches to the right on my screen size. And that happens. I'm pretty sure that's a known bug, because I get it constantly. And then I'll log into the issue council this week after I download this footage from tonight and give it to them so they can see the error. That way we give an accurate report about what's going on and they can see exactly what happens. All right, see it knocked that resistance down. Now look at our charge level. So this proves that the Sabre module works. I can't say the same thing about the cluster modifier because I haven't seen any benefit whatsoever from using it yet. But that doesn't mean that it's not there. That just means I haven't seen it. Alright, so that instability is going to cause us to do some crazy jumping through here. So we want to make sure we scroll down on that mouse wheel, or on that power. So you may have one of these slide things to the side where you can up your power, or lower your power, or you'll be able to flip a button. Okay, this rock right here will likely be pretty decent because we're going to have to bust it too. So once we bust this one, all right, one, we got to be really careful because it's easy to bust and it's easy to overcharge this because our charge window is so small. So don't be afraid to spam that button. Toggle it on and off and then get it back up to, you know, whatever percent you were on. Okay, it's 13%. We're going to back up. We're going to roll it back to 13. So moving it further away helps you with the laser's intensity level, right? Makes it less intense. Let's roll it down. A lot of that instability kicking us in the butt. So let's just get closer. 9% gets us up into that level. Let's back up because it's going to bust. Nope, not going to bust. That was a bad guess by me. Let's get closer and see what happens. Let's see if 5% will get it if we're close. Answer is yes, just about. So we'll have to back up at the last minute. There we go. That keeps us from getting any damage. Backing up at the last minute keeps us from getting damaged. All right, we got 100% chunk. See, I told you that was going to be a good bust, and that's 309 mass. So that's, we should be able to get a couple of 100% chunks out of this, to be honest with you. 149 mass, so that's going to be like 1 SCU. $191, so another 1 SCU. Yep. And this one will be our inert material. So we're getting some server lag. That's why it's taking a few seconds to pull up. That one's not worth taking because it's got too much inert material. Inert 100%. Here's one, we'll have to bust it. Let's wait till it gets done doing its thing. I used to jump the gun and go ahead and start powering up the laser, but then I had one blow up in my face. So this one's a really good rock, so we're going to take our time, make sure we get it where it needs to go. So 46%. We'll get closer, give it more power. We'll back off. What just happened? Okay, so that's weird. Oh, it's got a lot of resistance, so yeah, we gotta be extra careful. So yeah, there's that. if you're chatting with me in chat, I can't see it right now because I'm focusing on this right here. I keep my chat off to the side so it doesn't distract me when I'm playing. So yeah, that resistance causing us a problem. We may end up having to, and that server lag's causing a problem too. Because I just lagged hardcore for a second. So let's get out. Let's get our Saber module. And we will, get out. I don't know, my shields are off. We'll turn them back on in just a second. Anyway, so we're going to get out. We're going to call that Saber module over to us. After we do our weird thing that it makes us do every time. And then our mouse movements don't work right either. For the first couple seconds, your mouse is like inverted. Alright. There we go. Call it over to us. It's easier to go in your third-person inventory and throw it on your backpack that way. Now we'll hit 4. And see how it's the wrong size now? So, yeah. So now we'll probably have even more problems with it. Alright, let's change our propagation. So, propagation should be over here somewhere. There we go. See, we're going to play with it to get it about where we need it to be. So my guy floating around is a real pain in the tail, because you see what's happening here is his constant moving is affecting the quality at which we're going to be able to bust this rock. There we go. Activates way down here, bottom right corner. Let's get back in the ship. I think this ship has an excellent EVA re-entry animation. Because you actually float in. You don't fall to the ground when you float in. It's really cool. There we go. Sometimes your pilot seat don't work right either. Alright, where are our shields down? Okay, shields are on now. So now our resistance has been cut in half. So we should be able to mine this one fairly easy. See, 12% laser is getting us where we need to be, while a while ago it was not. Now 5% lasers keeping us in the optimal range. And that's ideal there. You know what? I saw some drumstick ice cream in the freezer earlier. I think when I get done tonight, I'm going to eat me some ice cream. So we know this is all 100% barrel. Right? Yes, we know that. So this is going to be a good run, because you can fill up your Freelancer Max with nothing but barrel and come out with a 400,000 credit load. All right, there we go. Perfect. 32 SCU of cargo. Let us hop out and get our Saber module. We'll throw our Saber module back on there. And yeah, so it's pretty simple. Busting rocks is easy. Using modules is one of the best ways to do it. Like I said, I've had bad luck with the cluster modifier, but I have not had bad luck with the Saber. The Saber has done wonders for being able to cut down on that resistance. Why is this acting a fool? There we go. Scroll it here. again, like I said, it's so difficult to get the pickup thing to pop open. So just pop open third person inventory, scroll around, grab it, and throw it in your backpack. There you go. And it's bugged out. That's why it's still blinking red. So when it bugs out like that, there's pretty much nothing we can do about that at this time except for throw it in your local storage and then hope it corrects itself later on. So I tend to have a lot of mining modules in my storage because I don't like it when they're bugged out. Look at that. That animation's really clean for re-entry. And for exit too, but know that, see, we can't. Basically, we need to be looking to the left of the pilot seat when we hit F to bring that up in the inner thought. So that's a little bug. Not game breaking. Alright, let's find a space station. And there it is right there. So we're going to fly back, hurl L1, throw this in the refinery, get this refining order working. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you watching. Hopefully you're having a good time, or you're learning something new, or, you know, you might be interested in Star Citizen and want to see a different gameplay loop. Well, this is this is prospector mining. If you have never played before, there's a bigger ship called a Argo Mole, and it's a group mining vessel, which is really cool. You can make a lot of credits really fast if you have, 3 people working with you. You plus 3, because technically you don't have to have somebody sitting in the pilot seat, but if you watch enough videos or shorts or reels or whatever you want to call those, on YouTube it's shorts, on Facebook it's reels. Anyways, you watch enough shorts, you'll see Argo moles getting blown to pieces because there wasn't somebody in the pilot seat when it got into the red zone and busted, so there's nobody to back the ship up before it could get demolished, basically. Alright, let's fly in here. We want to go in a hangar. So I learned this by watching a TikTok video, I believe. I can't, you know what? That's so aggravating. Sometimes your air brake just doesn't work as good as hitting it forward. And on this ship, your big one is the space bar. Your up thrusters. They're the ones that'll get you up. Anyways, that's what she said. Anyways, so we're coming down here, right? Get in front of the landing pad you want to go into, and then request your landing.
Please proceed to assigned landing.
And usually it'll pop this one as the one that you will go into. But it did not. Why is that? It worked the other day. It just didn't work tonight. That's weird. And all of them say number 1 too. I never noticed that before. So don't rely on that. That probably just means hurl L1 maybe. So what landing pad is this? This says 01 on the inside too. And then there's a 4 right there. So I bet this is going to be hangar 4. No, because it says hangar 3 right there. So lame. I wish everything was, designed together. Alright. Turn that off. We got to repair that damage from a while ago when I rammed that asteroid like a doofus. Oh, wow. That's awesome. We got lucky and it didn't damage. So, let's run out. Come on. I'm hoping one day they'll get around to adding buttons for open. Like right here to open this door, be a button somewhere. If there is a button and you know about it, let me know, because I don't know about it. I didn't even know that one was there until just now. If you're playing on your planet side right here, don't jump out, because a lot of times you'll fall and break your leg or accrue some life-threatening injury. Here at the station, it's okay, but if you're on a moon with no gravity or a little bit of gravity, or you're on a on Hurston or Microtech or something like that, you can fall out and break that leg. The hangar is the only place I've had it where I can jump out without it doing that. And it doesn't happen all the time. It only happens sometimes. So your refinery is always going to be at any kind of refinery Lagrange point. Not all Lagrange points have refineries, only certain ones. I wonder if it tells you on the map. We'll look real quick and I'll let you know. Rescue beacons. So tonight would be the night to run rescue beacons if I was running medical rescue, but I'm not running medical rescue tonight. Okay, so let's go here to Skyline. We'll take a look and see what it says about Hurl L1 Green Glade. Restocking, personal refueling, Habs, features a refinery. So it lets you know that there's a refinery here. Now let's go to Hurl L4 and see what they got. Melodic Field Station. Alright, refueling, restocking, weapons, personal weapons, clothing, food, clinic, and Habs. So yes, right there, no refinery. So there you go. Wow, I didn't know that moved overhead. That's neat. I gotta start paying more attention to some of the stuff in this game, because that's really cool that that's moving overhead like that. And I think the end goal later on during the development cycle for Star Citizen is, let's go ahead and throw this in our inventory too. In our local, go to other. It's just easier to drag everything into your other inventory. Let's see what all this ore would sell for regular. This gives me a general idea of how much we're going to make when we take it in. So usually, if it's going to be 32,000, we'll probably get 90,000 after it's refined. But since we're not refining the copper, because I could care less about doing that, because it's not worth anything. Now in the future, you may want to, because unless I get a boost to yield, I'm not going to do it. And it's just not enough to justify it. Because what, that's $31.99? Yeah, ain't enough to do it. Let's, I use Dink solventation. So Dinks is very low speed, low cost, high yield. So we pay a minimum amount. It's going to take 25 hours, but it's going to give us the biggest bang for the yield. I mean, you can get a high yield, high cost, but your high cost will be like 19,000 credits. So how many credits are you really making? You're losing a lot of credits. Unless you're trying to make a bunch of runs, you know, get you a bunch of work orders done in 4 hours and then close your night out. But I only get 2 hours to play each night. So, not only get, I choose to only play for 2 hours every night because I think family time is important. I have 3 teenage kids. I work. I usually get off work around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night. So I spend the first couple hours hanging out with them. And by the time they're tired of being around me, then that's when I come in here. So that's usually about 7:45 they'll walk off. But like tonight, my stream started kind of late because I was hanging out with them. Well, the 2 girls. My son is going to hang out with his grandparents. Oops, we didn't want to do that. Because he's going to go fishing with his grandfather. It was pretty cool. I love to fish. He likes fishing a lot. He's so funny. I bought him. We bought him a. Me and my wife bought him a new fishing rod and reel, the exact one he wanted. And we all assumed that he just doesn't notice anything at all, because you can like have something sitting right in front of him, he doesn't see it. You know. My wife calls it man eyes. I call it I call it man eyes too. You're looking with your man eyes. Because, you know, we, for some reason, sometimes we just can't see stuff in front of us. I mean, as a man, I will admit that. But it's funny, if something moves, I can see it. But if it's like, she can set a box on my computer desk, which right now it's not really a desk. Basically it's a table made by Sterilite. So cheap plastic junk that I put my computer on top of. I trust it so much that I actually don't have my desktop on it. I only have my monitors on it and my keyboard. I have my desktop on a side table because I'm building my custom desk. It's outside waiting for me to straighten or flatten the top out with the router sled, because I did one side, now we got to flatten the other side so we can pour the epoxy, because the board's cupped on me and I wasn't expecting that. I should have known to keep it clamped a little bit tighter and a little bit longer, but I didn't. So the board's cupped on the desk, and so now we're having to go through with a little I have a router sled that I built that travels over the surface, and I can go backwards and forth just moving it along the concrete carport floor, because my carport doesn't have a car in it. It's got all my tools and stuff like that in there.
You are clear to launch.
But yeah, I'm rambling. Anyways, so I'm still in the process of building the desk. I got to pour the epoxy and everything, and I haven't done that yet. So I got to flatten it out, pour the epoxy. I'm gonna make it this burnt orange mica powder is what I'm gonna mix with the epoxy, and it'll be my first really big epoxy pour, because essentially that's how I'm gonna level it all out. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be really cool when it's done. I'll say that. No joke. I think it's gonna be awesome. My wife is kind of skeptical, but yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. And then I can move this end table out of the way. By the way, this end table I have it set on was made in like 1915, and it is heavy. I mean, it is. I don't even know what kind of wood it's made out of. And I have the Wood Bible. That's what the book's called, Wood Identification Bible. And I can't identify it. It almost looks like lignum vitae. There's no way. If it is, then this table's worth a lot of money just from the wood. That would be cool if it was lignum, though. But yeah. Anybody else do some woodworking? Or like that kind of stuff as a hobby? Because I like it as a hobby. I used to build furniture as like a side job. And I'll tell you, building furniture can be iffy, because you get a tabletop, like let's say my desktop, right? You can get a tabletop bow on you. There's nothing you can do, especially if the customer wants a 1.5 inch thick. You make it 1.5 inch thick, then it cups. If you go in to straighten it like my desk, so I made my desk 1 3/4 inch thick, so it gives me plenty of room to work with. I'm not picky about the thickness of the top. I know that the wood's hard, so it's not gonna bust, and it's turned up on its side grain instead of its face grain, so it really gives it a stronger. How do I keep coming in so hot like that? Oh, I know why, because I have cruise control on. Idiot. Sometimes I'm a doofus when I play this game. What is this? This is a purple rock. If this is purple with no gold, we're going to cruise off. Laranite and aluminum. You know what? We found this one earlier. Let's fly this way this time. So last time we went straight forward when we left from there. This time we're going to the right. We're going to go right and down. We're not going to go up at all. That way I have a general direction that I know I'm going in. Anyways, yeah. You know, you get something like that bow on you. You have no way to correct it unless you cut it in half and flip it over and hope that you can get those seams to line up appropriately. Which I'll go ahead and tell you. you're only going to have that happen about 30% of the time. The other bit, you're going to have to go back, shim a bunch of stuff, hope you can get it exactly the way you want it. I actually twisted one back into position a while back using basically using some 1-inch steel tubing on the top and the bottom, bolted it down, cracked all the glue joints and edge glued it all back up, and then clamped it all back in. And then I used pocket holes to tighten it on up while the glue dried. All right, so that's a good little rock there. Easy to bust, 25% resistance. And we didn't get our dadgum saber out of inventory. Golly. It is what it is. We'll just get really close to it. What just happened? So it started off where I wanted it to, which is 100%. Move it a little bit until we find that sweet spot. And I'm pretty sure the sweet spot are the crack lines. There we go. We found it. It takes a second, but you can find it. And when you do, rock busting becomes just a thing of the past. A little bit of instability, 1.30. But it's not enough to mess us up. Hopefully we get us a nice, solid 100% chunk of barrel. All right, that's a 100% chunk of aluminum, so we're most definitely going to get some good barrels. Inert material. Crappy bust. .27% barrel. No, thank you. I bet the only good solid chunk we're going to get is going to be the one that we're fixing to have to bust again. Or double bust, whatever you want to call it. Nope. All right, this was mostly barrel, so doing this one is a no-brainer. We'll let our 5% do its thing. We'll just get close. Let's get an optimal range. Let's get back in the crack zone. Let's roll it back to 6, 7, 5. Dang, my dryer's rocking again. Holy cow, that's so scary when it does it. So these fleece and microfiber blankets are just not really dryer friendly. Unless you got like a commercial dryer, I guess. Which I got a good old fashioned top load. Why? Because I think a top load actually gets your clothes cleaner. I don't need my clothes being dirty. I'm bad about getting into grease and stuff. I'm also one of those guys that wipes his hands on his pants, and then my wife's like, "Why are your pants so dirty?" I'm like, "Oh, it's because well, I don't know." Knowing good and well, I know why. Because I got some oil or something on my hand when I was fixing something, and just wiped it right there on the pants. So yeah, we're We're not getting too bad a lag, just a little bit, you know. That's gonna be server lag, not my computer lagging. Thank goodness. All right, let's go over here and bust this one up. Crank it up. This one will take a little bit longer because of 17% resistance. Luckily, it's small enough we don't have to worry about having to run back and get the Saber module. So not getting the Saber modules, my mistake. If you're getting modules and transfer them to your local inventory, make sure you throw them in your backpack or on your ship before you leave. All right, roll this back. Roll it back further. Nope. There we go. I don't know why that did that, but that's going to be that instability playing a huge role. Back up a little bit so we don't get damaged. Let's scan these. More than likely, these yellow chunks are going to give us what we're wanting. Yeah. So got to be careful because at minimum power, 5%, this one's going to jump around. And we have a small pie to work with. See? That was 5% that did that. So now we'll take it back up. Oop. Back up. Move forward. Move forward. So yeah, mining's kind of like fishing. I used that analogy the other day. You got to get your bait in there. And then hook it. So 11% seems to be our sweet spot to keep it going up without it without it getting in the red zone. But the moment we fall out of the sweet spot, right, is the moment it decides to act a fool and drop too low. Shield under attack, but no damage. You'll know if you got some damage because it will you'll have a torque imbalance. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, so this one should be 100%, right? Yes. So we may be able to get a full barrel run on this load. Just with this one rock, hopefully. Yep. This is a good bust. I like it when it goes this easily. Right, because we found our rock. We found them pretty quick. Then we still have one more we can bust right there. Contract available, outsourcing opportunity. Speaking of contract availables, last night I ran a contract mission on remove hostile from a bunker, right? So I go into the bunker and then I get blown to pieces by the turrets. That's not the bad part. The bad part is I ended up in 100%. No thanks. That's junk. Anyways, I ended up waking up in jail. Going to assist a friendly faction. I think the game's not remembering the asteroids we've already scanned. Which is a pain in the butt when it does that, by the way. All right, so we've done that one. We cracked that one. What else we got? Inert. All right, so we got, okay, so we got all those. So moving on. Nope. 13,000 right there. 13 clicks out. We're still moving in the correct direction. That's why I looked at the space station and said, nope. Nope, don't want to do that. Oh, let's turn on that cruise control. Cruise control can be risky. I don't know why I do it, because that's how I rammed the asteroid a while ago. That's how I almost rammed the one we were flying up just now. But yeah, I like cruising in, get my stuff, cruising back. Generally, in 2 hours, I can get 4 mining expeditions done. That's usually enough to get me 400,000, 300 to 400,000 credits worth of ore to transport off in my Freelancer Max. Wish there's got to be a better trading ship than that one, because it's very clunky. All right, asteroid Q-type. 2200. Way too small. Don't want to do that one. But it was barrel, so we might. 6233. Perfect. Low resistance, and it's gold. Yep, we'll take it. Boom. Let's go ahead and fracture this one. Gold is the most valuable resource other than quantanium, and you're pretty lucky when you find quantanium. I've only found it twice in the last 2 weeks. Obviously that's only 5 mining trips, but still. I do find that gold is a lot harder to get the crack, and I guess because it absorbs the heat somehow. I mean, we got the laser on full blast. We're getting right up in its grill. And sometimes it seems like we're not even hitting the asteroid itself. Right, did you notice how it dropped down all of a sudden and we couldn't get it to come back up? I mean, when we can't get it up, there's a problem. No pun intended. Come on, are you serious? Are you serious right now? This thing is too small to be having this issue. There's hardly any resistance. The instability is not that bad. For some reason, it looks like my stream has disconnected, guys. For no reason. So I apologize if if the stream lost. Hopefully it's still working. But I got a notification that said it had been disconnected temporarily. And I don't know what service it was, whether it was YouTube or Twitch. So I use a streaming service, Streamlabs to be able to stream to multiple places. And I find that I get a lot of drop off sometimes. A friend of mine said don't use them, and I did not pay heed. And why is my laser 98% instead of 100? Okay, so this will probably take a while, huh? Why are we having such difficulty with this rock? That's kind of boring. I don't come out here to take all this time to do a dang small little rock like this. Pardon my French. That's kind of ridiculous. Yeah, server lag. Bit us in the butt for a second. See how all of a sudden them sparks quit flying? And then all of a sudden it jumped up. So we got to pay attention to that. No, you stupid idiot. You know, that should have never happened. That rock was at the finish line. And you mean to tell me now we're going to have a problem getting it to go back up to 100%. Field under attack, no big deal, no damage. Doesn't say torque over torque balance or whatever. 15% iron, no thanks. I mean gold. The trade-off for the iron versus gold is not good enough. 31%, 65. I needed to be in larger chunks for me to justify getting it, even though it took this long to bust it. Getting inert material is worthless. Iron, you can only trade it at Magda if you're in Hurston, so I'm not interested in flying to Magda to trade that off. 30% for that and some inert material. It's just not worth it, guys, even though one SCU is 7,000. You know what? We're going to do it anyways. We're going to see. We're just going to see. So yeah, we're going to be lucky if we got 14,000 SCU of gold. Because we got 3 SCU. So in theory that'd be 21,000. I don't know if I think we might get a bonus to yield here at Hurl L1. We'll find out. We're on our way back. That's our second mining trip. Obviously the first one took a while and we were unable to get everything we were looking for. So yeah. So sometimes it takes a while to find what you're looking for. Sometimes it doesn't. When we get back to the station, I'm going to make sure this time that I put a Saber module on there, because the Saber module would have defeated the whole problem that we just had with the gold. Even though at that size, 4,000, we should not have had an issue. But I have the feeling that it's got something to do with the way gold works. Sorry, looking down for a second. Alt
Please
N.
proceed to assigned landing bay.
Alright, let's turn this mine, get this mining head out of the way. Landing gear's already down, so we're good on that. Well, I ended up putting it up. I said landing gear's already down, and I put the landing gear up. What hangar is this? It's the one with some broken ship parts. Well, we need to be careful. There we go. Got past them. Hangar 1. So Hangar 4 and Hangar 1 both have broken ship stuff.
Landing complete.
Let's see how much damage we did this time to our ship. Not much at all. So that wasn't bad. It was a pretty decent bust, but we didn't cause much damage to the ship. So one way we can try to avoid damage is by putting all of our shields forward, and that'll help absorb some of that damage. But sometimes it's as if though it's ballistics and ignoring shields altogether. Kind of like bypassing your shields. I'm not sure if ballistic weapons actually do that in the game, but sometimes it feels like it. When you go up against somebody with ballistics, they tend to do some damage to your ship. And I tend to use laser weapons because I'm not very good at ship-to-ship combat. If you've watched my channel before, you already know that. Okay, so back to the refinery. So if you're in Hurston, there's a refinery at Hurl L1 and Hurl L2. Don't know what just happened there. That was weird. It's like the server is rubber banding on us, so we got to be careful now. Got to watch out for the elevators not loading in. Let's look at in-game chat. Nah, it's some group play. Group play is always fun, or can be. I had fun. I did some group play with some guys a couple nights ago, and it was good fun. I was invited by a clone 2240, I think. And I joined their Discord and stuff. We flew. It was good fun. Good fun. We died, or I died, along with the guy that was piloting our ship. So 34,000, and most of it was barrel and a little bit of gold. So again, this load's going to be looking like 90,000 credits. So let's put it in. Let's check dinks. We're gonna do gold and barrel. All right, so we'll get 2,500. I believe our yield will be. And no, we get a negative 3% to yield on that, so that kind of stinks. On the barrel, though, I'm pretty sure it's 0, so we're not losing any. We're not gaining any either. But I'm not going to complain. That's an easy peasy. So now we've got, about 200,000 credits worth of ore being refined.
Accounts, contact management. Thank you.
Which isn't bad, guys. It isn't bad at all. I mean, unless you're just purely playing the game to make money, if you're doing that, then you've done enough bunker missions to get up to tier 5, or you've ran enough bounty missions to get up to ERTs, and that's where you make your big money at. It's the ERTs or the group VRTs or VHRT or whatever it is. Very high risk targets. ERTs are extreme risk targets. It's okay. Let us not forget our utility item, the Saber module. See? It didn't reset. Son of a tater head. Let's see if this one does. Oh my goodness, that one's not reset either. Are you kidding me? Okay, so yeah, it is what it is. We're not going to stress it. Golly. Rubber banding is the worst. We're on hangar 1. I knew that because it says it right there. I didn't need to run up to the terminal for it to tell me that. It's okay. When we place our modules, we just need to be a little bit more careful. I wish I had some sweet tea. I've been drinking water all day. I'm out of water right now. But I don't want to take a break because we only have 40 minutes left to get the job done. I'm trying to get 4 mining runs in. Let's throw a Bormax in the ship. Okay, we're going to go to vehicles, utility. Let's throw a Bormax in here. And another Bormax. We'll throw a Saber module in here. All right. Let's throw a health gun in here too. I don't know why, but we're going to throw a health gun in here. Golly. Oh, that's cool. You can hit the arrows. There we go. Throw that over in here too. That sustenance. There we go. All right. So we got that done. Moved our sustenance over. Got our Bormaxes in. Got our Saber modules in. Now we're just going to request takeoff. This ship spins fairly slowly. Also, I learned the hard way. Don't rotate this thing over on its side because it may flip over and land on the pad and be almost impossible to get back up. Alright, broken pieces. So you just want to look out when broken pieces start showing up. You want to most definitely pay attention and be on the lookout. Alright, so this time we're going to head this way. Let's get out here, see what we can find.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Hopefully if we find gold, it's in a decent quantity. That would be great. And if not, we find a bunch of beryl or greasium. Laranite would be awesome. That's another good one. All right, let's hit this one up. So if you go into scan mode, you can usually pinpoint these items fairly quickly. I like to just be in mining mode. And then I can, as soon as that little thing pops in, we get a 1,000 clicks out. I mean, 1 click out, then we can be able to scan it pretty quickly. And then move on to the next target if we can't find what we're looking for. The problem with persistency is we can actually come through here and run into stuff that we've already mined. So all those broken pieces. The good news is it'll show up as a bunch of different stuff. I think that's that purple rock, isn't it? No, this is not a purple rock. So this should be an easy bust, and we'll get some magnesium. So let's throw a bore max on there. We're going to see if I'm correct, right? Because I may not be. I could be wrong, and the bore max could be working. So let's get out. We'll go throw a bore max on it. We'll see if we get a cluster. Because technically the bore max should give us a 30% greater chance. 30% greater chance to get a clean bust. With 30% chance to get 100% clusters. All right. After he settles down, then you can move your mouse around and get to where you need to go. Because for some reason, he's not too good at the space flight. Okay, back up somebody. All right. All right, so we got we're starting kind of out of range for this. Let's detach it. We're going to reattach it. Hopefully we get a better start off point. 63% again. %. Axial scatter. 83%. All right, let's get propagation. See, I'm having to play around in the wrong part of the field there. Okay, so we'll slide that all the way. Now let's change our field range. We're trying to match the green in the background, right? With what we got going on. All right, so bam, right there. Activate. So activate's way down here on the screen instead of over here where it's supposed to be at. So annoying. But you know, I complain about it all the time. I still do it. Where's my damn ship at? There we go. Whew. I get aggravated when I can't find my ship. All right, so now we just want to make sure that we don't hit the stupid module. And unfortunately, you can't place but one module on a rock. There was a time when you could place multiple modules on a rock, but that is gone. And I think that was more a bug than anything else. Or maybe something that the feature team didn't realize was going to be an issue. we go. So hopefully we'll get us 100% agresium, 61%, 34% inert material. No thank you, that's a suck bust. 81%, 18% copper, that's not too bad. It's along the same lines as the bust we had earlier. 73%, 26% inert. I mean, come on. Guys, these modules need to work the way that they're supposed to. At least increase the chance, right? Not this crap. Copper, 100% copper. $14% agresium. So there you go. I mean, it's a crappy bust. Inert materials. This is the only one worth taking right here. %, 23%. Also, don't want to be flying around all day again. 61%. I love mining, but man, sometimes it's so aggravating, especially when the modules do that crap right there where it just doesn't work like any better than anything else I do, right? I mean, man, let's see. 12 clicks out. I'm starting to get sleepy. Oh, your eyes start getting droopy. It's like, okay, what should I do, you know? Probably park it for the night, probably be the best thing. Because if I don't, I'll end up making huge mistakes. And those are never good. As a matter of fact, that's what put me in Hurston. I mean, in Klesher 3 times in one night. 2 hours, in 2 hours of play, I ended up in Klesher 3 times. I actually went to Klesher last night over that stupid turret wrecking me on a assist friendlies mission. Oh no, my bad. It was some bad guys that taking over security outposts. You know, go in there and get rid of them, basically. I go to do that, get shot by the turrets. Obviously, I know the turrets are hostile, but you shouldn't go to prison. Oh my gosh. Jesus. I don't know how I haven't blown up the ship yet tonight. Alright, 5 clicks out. Let's see what's here. I think after we bust this rock, we're going to call it a night. Get it to the refinery. So it'll only be 3 ore runs. I'm making too many big mistakes. Oh, Terranite. So, yeah, this will be a good one to bust. So, yeah, even with 28% resistance, this one's cracking really quick. Really, really easy. So we're gonna roll that down pretty quick. I don't know how it went up into the red zone, being that I canceled the laser before it could ever get up there. Turn the light off on this thing. There we go. Barrel. I'll take it. Thank you. Something good. I used to not get barrel at all. I would pass it up. Because back in the day, barrel sucked. And notice I didn't get my bore mask because I could care less about getting that thing and float out here in space forever for all I care. Stupid thing doesn't work. So that should be all the iron. Should have been in those two right there. Terranite 100%. I forgot what Terranite sells for. Oh, somebody, there's a player coming in. Hopefully they're not hostile. Or they're just flying to the station. That would be cool too. Just fly to the station. Just don't come out here and bother me. That would be pretty nice. We'll take that even though it's got 20% iron. That's too much iron. Too much iron. So, alright, 12.8 clicks. Moving on to the next spot. So we have almost filled our cargo hold up. Ice melting for me. Keeps me from having to get up and get some water. So when you're coming in on these asteroids, if you're worried about coming in hot like I've been doing this whole time, stay below or above the asteroid, or to the left or to the right when you're coming in. That way you don't accidentally hit it. Because I'm bad about not cutting my cruise control off, as you have witnessed on multiple occasions tonight. So once we get into these different cube zones, then we get closer to where the asteroid really is. $13,191 Bex light copper. Says it's impossible at 13,000. What happens if we throw a saber on it though? Is it still impossible? First off, we'll see if we can get it to move without the saber. If we can get a decent move without the saber, then we know we can be able to bust it. If we can't get it to move significantly without it, then there's no sense in even trying. Alright, no sense in trying because it didn't want to budge. Nope. That's too close to the station. "11 clicks out. It's our next rock. Put it on autopilot. Yeah, so yeah, mining can, if you're watching, mining can be boring. You know, obviously all of us like a little bit more action. But I mean, it's not bad. It's like I said, it's just something I do on Sundays. I either mine or I do salvaging. And sometimes Mining, I can make more money a lot faster because I can just get barrel, fill it up, run back, come back out, get barrel, run back, fill it up. Tonight, we're not so lucky with our rocks. Some of them have been way too big. We forgot the module one time. And that happens. What is this stuff? Now, why is it just not popping in? Purple rock. It's a good size. Hephaestonite and copper, not worth getting. Hephaestonite's not really valuable. Resistance, 17%. IBS. It says impossible on this one. There's no way. That's what I thought. We're getting a little bit of jump in there. It's okay. Let's hop out. Let's throw a saber module on it. Throw a saber module on there. Get that resistance down. All right. 4. All right, let's there we go. Let's get close to it. Field range, ain't budging none. So axial scatter, there we go. That got us somewhere. Propagation, all right, there we go. 90%. Field range. Let's activate it. There we go. All right. So that gives us a 90% greater chance that we're going to lower our instability. So, okay, if it's 100% lowered instability, then it would be like cut it directly in half, right? Because you're never going to get it that lowered. But if we had a helix, we could cut right through this. So I think before we asteroid mine next time, we're going to run the helix. So now it just says challenging. 8%. So it's beginning to look like they're for real. I'm not going to be able to crack this one. Try to get it somewhere where we get a steady rise, because I get a lot of fun out of busting these rocks. Let's get back to the optimal range and see what we get. Nothing, because we're not getting the optimal power. Alright, let's get in close, like right on top of it. See, there's something wrong with the way the rock it's reading too, because I'm right up against this thing, and it's like not recording that I'm right up against it as far as the distance goes. So, all right, let's move on. Nine clicks out. If the next one's impossible, we're just going to fly back, throw all this stuff in the refinery, and call it a night. Because I'm getting too sleepy for this. I guarantee everybody else is probably already falling asleep. And nobody's coming in here and fix me any sweet tea, which is kind of crazy. I would fix it myself, which is, you know, perfectly normal. All right, we just got server lag just then. Unusual. All right, what do we have here? A rock. Hard. So not challenging, just hard. So let's see what happens. It's mostly hephaestonite. No resistance, so using a saber won't help us at all because it's not going to lower it. Yep, ain't going to help us none. All right, 13 clicks. Nope, that's not what I said I was going to do, was it? No, it's not. Do what you say. So one thing I learned today, if you're going to say it, do it. Actually, you know what? We're not even far enough away from the space station. That's why we're getting these crappy rocks. Gotta fly out here further. Up the ante a little bit. I bet that's our rock right there, yeah. Alright, let's see what it is. Ah, crud. Why does it do that? Every time that happens, I jump up. I'm like, oh, like I'm going to be able to affect this. See, okay, so we got some laranite on this one. If we can't crack this one, then I'm going to get irate because this is most definitely going to be a bug. Because I mean, even though the instability is high, the resistance is low, the rock is tiny. And now all of a sudden, 30% can keep us in the charge zone. Get out of here. I'm calling shenanigans on some of this stuff. Shenanigans. Isn't that the name of the restaurant from that Ryan Reynolds movie? Waitress or Waiting, something like that. It's kind of a vulgar movie, honestly. There are some funny moments in it. Copper, no thanks. Laranite. 100%. So yeah, this was worth flying out here and grabbing this little load here because of the laranite. Laranite's actually pretty valuable. Copper, no thanks. Copper, not valuable. Don't waste your time getting it. And unfortunately, we have 2 SCU of inert material. I just love having 2 SCU of inert material. Let's get this laranite too, even though it's got copper mixed in. Copper, copper, copper. All right. All right. Let's go. So yeah, next time we just need to fly a little bit further out from the station. And like we're 59 clicks out now, but we were just right on top of it a few minutes ago where you could see it. I mean, this is about how far we were earlier. So we most definitely found better rocks further away from the station. So we'll run this load in. There'll be 3 loads. We've been streaming for 1 hour, 43 minutes. I'm tired, I'll be honest with you. So as soon as we run this over to the thing, we're going to be done streaming for tonight. I appreciate everybody who watched and stuck around with me. Y'all be safe out there. And if it's time for you to go to sleep, have a good night. If you're playing as a Star Citizen, happy flying. And yeah, I'm gonna hit the refinery and this is gonna be it. We'll find out how much this is gonna net us roughly. I'm thinking this is gonna be another 90,000, so we're looking at 270,000 total credits worth of stuff that'll be hauled off to the Lorville Trade and Development Division. That's on planet side, so there's one on each planetary system. Arcor, Microtech, Orison, and Crusader. Arcor, Crusader, Microtech, and Hurston. And on Hurston, it's going to be Lorville. Microtech, it's going to be New Babbage. Crusader's going to be Orison. That's where your TDD is, or Trade and Development Division. The one on Orison looks really cool. And the other one is on the one on Arcor. I think it's called Arcor, isn't it? Let's look. We'll look at the map and see. Arcor. Yes. Arcor. So I'm saying it wrong. It's not Arcor. It's Arcor. Or it could be Arc Corpse. Whatever you want to say. Corpse just doesn't sound right to me. It'd be like Marine Corps. No, Marine Corps. Alright, so we'll go put this prospector in storage. We'll run down. We'll check. We'll go to the refinery, see what our ore sales would be if we're just selling the ore. And that'll give me a guesstimate on about what it'll sell for after it's refined. And so far, it's been a pretty accurate. I mean, within a margin of error, but it's been pretty dead on. Which I won't complain. Because it just works. Store our prospector. Let's run down to the refinery now. And from there, we shall go to the ore cells. Yeah, hopefully it'll be pretty good amount, especially since we got that laranite at the end. Laranite, that other one had gold on it. So see, that thing's not working right now. It's going, and the upper one's moving too. How cool! How cool is that? Now these are pouring, and then they'll quit pouring in just a minute. If you've never actually stopped to look at this stuff, it's actually pretty awesome. See? And in a minute, it'll stop altogether.
Foreman to billing.
It's just so cool. So let's see what our ore would sell for. 38,000. So yeah, this would be almost 110,000, 120,000 load. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, that was worth getting. And there I was fussing about it. Dink solventation, laranite, taranite. I forgot about the taranite, and the barrel. Everything else we ain't worried about. Or should I do the copper? Nah. Let's get a quote on that. 36,000, 22 hours. Confirm. 1729. So there we go. Plenty of stuff. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. And I hope you have a good rest of your night. If it's daytime for you or the morning, I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I will see you guys Wednesday. I don't stream on Mondays and Tuesdays because I have to work later in the day. But I will see you guys again on Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Y'all have a good night. Take care.